Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are trying a whole bunch of new makeup products. I don't even have my eyebrows done today. I have no moisturizer on because I have so much new stuff to try, a lot of which I am very excited about. And I have everything in here. I have a lot of high-end and luxury products that just launched. I have a few drugstore ones or more affordable ones, and I even have a couple of indie brand products to try as well. So buckle up because I'm about to review a whole bunch of new beauty. If you're excited for today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave, and let's go ahead and get started. First thing I always start with is eyebrow gel, and I have a new one to try that I am very intrigued by, and it is this one right here from NYX. This is called the Brow Glue, and it claims to have a crazy lift, which is exactly what my crazy thick coarse brow hairs need. So we'll see. I will start by saying I don't love the packaging because what do you mean that those silicone bristles are supposed to tame my hairs? But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to get a generous amount of the gel out. So like so. And I'm just going to start running it through my eyebrows. And we'll see exactly what kind of lift and placement we can get with this new brow glue from NYX Cosmetics. That's pretty good so far. I'm going to squeeze a little bit more out. I want my eyebrows nicely coated because, as I said, I have thick, coarse brow hairs and I need them to stay in place. And while it's not a spoolie, I guess the silicone hairs are not terrible either. So here's the first brow. If that lasts, that's pretty good. I'm going to squeeze some more out and move on to my other brow. This one I believe is a bit more difficult, so we'll see. Here's how the second brow looks. Honestly, pretty good. I'm kind of impressed. It does actually have a good enough lift for my super thick, coarse brow hairs. And it's not even that my eyebrows are the most difficult type of hair to work with. It's just that they are adamant about growing the wrong direction. Mine like to point down and I want them lifted. So here is how things look. And for reference, this is a $12 eyebrow gel. While it dries, I'm going to use my first hydrating product. I have two that I'll use today, and it is this one right here from Ravi Beauty. This is the Signature Skin Dream Barrier Cream. This was made in Korea. It has a super beautiful, fun, and efficient packaging. You twist it out in order to pump it out, and I love it because it's extremely hydrating without it being heavy. I have used this one a couple of times off camera to try it out because I was very curious to see what Ali had created, and I gotta say I was impressed. I really like it. As someone who has very dry skin, this moisturizer is amazing. Also, if you're someone who doesn't want fragrance in moisturizers, I'm pretty sure this has no fragrance added. It has a very faint smell, but it just kind of smells like the product. It doesn't smell like added fragrance, which is fantastic if you have sensitive skin and you don't want fragrance in your skincare products. It sinks right in. It gives you a bit of a glow. And if you're a little bit drier like I am, it layers beautifully if you want a bit of a thicker feeling on the face. Again, I was really impressed when I tried it. So if you've been wondering, this is not my first impression of it. I do recommend this one. It's really nice. Now the second hydrating product I'm going to put on, I'm going to use a bit as a primer type product, and it is this Rhode Beauty Barrier Butter here. I got this the other day at Sephora, and my friend Andrea told me she's been using this Rhode cream instead of magic cream. Here's what it looks like on the fingers, and that's how she sold it to me, okay? I was like, you're using that instead of my favorite, our favorite magic cream, and obviously I needed to try it. I will say it feels very different than magic cream, but it still is very hydrating. It's just not a product that I feel sinks into the skin immediately. It's one that you kind of feel on a little more. It gives you a crazy glow, as you can see, and it does feel very hydrating. This one feels kind of like it seals in the moisture. Within the Rhode Beauty line, you're supposed to use the hydrating milk that they have on first and then this afterwards to kind of seal in that moisture, which is why I put a thinner moisturizer on underneath it to show you. I'm still kind of gathering my feelings about this one. I feel like with these types of products, it takes me a little longer to like fully come to terms with how I feel about using them. But so far, so good. Would it replace my magic cream? I don't think so. For a magic cream replacement, I actually think that the Rabi Beauty Moisturizer would be a better alternative. By the way, all of these products are linked down below in the description box. So if you are wanting to get your hands on any of these, please check out the description box for all of the links. I don't really have anything new to fill my eyebrows in. This right here is new-ish, the Anastasia brow pens, and I have been really loving them, but I did already review these for you, so I'm just going to fill my eyebrows in with them off camera and I'll be back. Back with the brows filled, and for foundation, I'm very excited to try the Wonder Skin Stay All Day foundation. The main reason I'm pretty excited about using this one is that I saw Tanya Wells liked it. I think she put in her favorites video or something, so I have been intrigued about it ever since because I feel like we have very similar tastes when it comes to foundation, her and I, and so I'm trying it today. The shade I intend to try is the shade Halo, and I want to make you aware that for some reason this foundation only has a 9-month shelf life. It says it right down here, which is strange. I feel like usually foundations have at the very least a 12-month shelf life, and this one says 9. This is what I was going to use, which is the shade Halo, but it looks pretty yellow. This right here is the shade Bliss, and I think I'm going to use Bliss instead. I'm going to apply it with the BK Beauty 115 brush, and it seems like a very thin foundation, which is always a plus for me. My redness is not fully covered, so it's at most a medium coverage foundation, but it does look very natural and feel very seamless, so that is always a huge plus. Here's this Wonder Skin foundation fully applied. It honestly looks really nice. I don't mind the fact that my redness kind of shows through a teeny tiny bit. It looks natural, thin, and glowy, and you might think maybe it looks glowy because of the road stuff, but I don't have any moisturizer on my hand, and you can see right there that the foundation on its own has a beautiful glowy finish as well. I went ahead and concealed my under eyes, and the next thing I'm going to use that is new-ish is from Laura Mercier, and it is their under eye setting powder. Now this has been around for years, but they have new shades, which is very exciting. This was the powder I would use and dust underneath my eyes when I first started my YouTube channel, before brands started making setting powders that cater to dry complexions, back when everything was full on makeup, kind of cakey looking, thick powders. This was the powder that I was using underneath my eyes, my absolute most favorite, because it's always been thin and it's always been aging skin friendly. It's always been dry skin friendly, and now we have new shades of it, and so I'm very excited to bring these to you. This is the Laura Mercier under eye brightening powder. The invisible one, the clear one, is just a white powder, which is the one that I was using years ago. These right here are shades Peach and Pink that I want to show you. Here's the peach shade, and as you can see, it's a very, very light peach color. And I'm going to apply it underneath one of my eyes to show you it. I think if you have a bit more color than I do, this is a beautiful brightening shade on you. On me, it brightens a little, but I think I prefer the pink shade. So let me show you that one under the other eye. Here's the pink color. It looks almost like the invisible one, but not really. It just has a very light tint of pink. And that is what I'm going to use underneath this eye, and you can immediately see the difference. You can see that on my light skin, the pink is definitely a bit more brightening than the peachy side is. Both of these are going to be great if you have lines underneath your eyes. Both of these are going to be great if you have dry skin like me. They literally are invisible and you don't even feel them underneath the eyes, and that's the way they've always been. I'm very happy that Laura Mercier is updating them and bringing out more shades of them. There's also shades for darker complexions because these under eye powders are beautiful and they deserve to be in the spotlight. Next, I have a new cream bronzer to try. If you saw my Sephora and Ulta shop with me video, you saw this one there, and it is the new About Face cream bronzer. I got mine in the shade Beach Goth, and I am excited about this one because About Face is one of those brands that always surprises me with really good products. I love their foundation, I love their setting powder, and I'm hoping I'll really love this bronzer as well. We'll see. You twist this one to open, and here's what the shade I got looks like on the stick. That color looks good and it looks glowy. I'm going to just kind of do lines around the forehead, cheek area, and the jawline. And I'm going to blend it with the 115 brush from BK Beauty, which is the same one I use for foundation. I just kind of wiped it off on a paper towel in case my foundation was still on there. And I am blending it out. As you can see, it blends out super seamlessly. Let's do the cheek, and it has a beautiful glowy finish to it. Let's do the jawline as well, and it is looking very natural. I think I want a little bit more color on the forehead. The cheeks I'm okay with. I do like the color on the cheeks, but I do just want a tiny bit more forehead bronziness and a bit on the sides of my nose. Just like so, here is the bronzer fully blended and applied. I really like it. I will say, when it comes to like a contoury bronzer type product, which is what this is, I would have preferred it to have a bit more of a natural finish rather than glowy, but that is total personal preference. And glowy makeup is very trendy right now. So here's what that looks like, and I'm going to follow it up with a new blush. This blush is not brand new, but it is brand new to me. I have been wanting to try the Rhode blushes for very, very long, and I finally have one. This one is in the shade Sleepy Girl, which looks just like the perfect color, and I'm hoping that it is. Here's what the Rhode blush packaging looks like. You just pop it out, twist it up just like so, and even though it looks dark, it'll see it's kind of sheerish, so it'll look really good on the cheeks. I'm going to work it in with this Sigma brush. This one is the Sigma F08. See, that looks so nice. I love it because it's kind of opaque and mauvey, and those are some of my favorite types of blush colors. A little bit more towards the temples here to pull it up high on the cheeks, and I'm even going to run some over the bridge of my nose. That looks really lovely. For eyeshadow, I have a few different options, but the one thing that I for sure know I'm going to try is the new Patrick Ta eyeshadow duo. I did spend the $42 on this one. I will say, I went to the store, and if you guys have not seen my swatches of these and my comparisons, check out that video that I'm linking on the eye right there. It is a shop with me video, and I showed you everything and I swatched everything when it comes to this Patrick Ta eyeshadow duo release. What I determined was that this year's Patrick Ta release of the eyeshadow duos is definitely a lot better than last year's. Last year's, some, maybe one or two of the single shadows was very sparkly, but the rest of them really were not that big of a deal. This year's eyeshadow duos, they're all very sparkly, and I got my hands on the one that I thought I would get the most use out of, which is In Your Dreams, this duo right here. These feel almost kind of like gritty to the touch, but not in a bad way, because they still feel and look very luxurious and ethereal. Check out the swatches of this one there, and I'm going to first try it on its own so I can show you how this would look, but then I am going to do some matte shadows around it with another product I also want to try today. Here's what this looks like. I'm going to use the slightly darker color, which is this gold-ish shade under here, and I'm going to tap that one all throughout my eyelid so that you can see the sparkle. It's a very ethereal, elegant sparkle. Honestly, really beautiful. And you know what? I'm going to tap the other one on the other eyelid so you can see if you can even notice a difference between these two. This one's just a little brighter, a bit more silver rather than gold, but honestly, between these two there isn't a huge difference. Most of the other eyeshadow duos have more of a difference between their shades than the one I chose, if I'm going to be honest, but this is the one I wanted, so here we are. See, this one's just a bit more golden, and the other one's just a little more silver-ish, but very similar. You can see the difference better from far away. This one's more golden, this one's more silver. I'm going to take off my silver one because I do want to do the same look on both eyes. Don't do what I did. Be careful with these because they have fallout. This fallout was 100% caused by me, but still be careful because you could have a bit of fallout. Like right here, I was more careful and I still have a few flakes under, so keep that in mind. I'm going to add this golden shimmer to this eye, and I'm just tapping it with my finger. Very pretty. And then on the inner corner, I do want to use the lighter one with a brush, so I'm going to tap it here and bring it in through the crease ever so slightly with my Refer number 2 brush, only until I reached the halfway point here. And the eyeshadow palette that I have been dying to use and I'm going to use paired with these Patrick Ta shadows is this right here from Cinch Beauty. This is the brand new Cinch Beauty Pursley Hoot palette. Let's take a moment for that beautiful design. because it is breathtaking. And let's go ahead and see the palette. Check it out right here. We have some stunning mattes, some beautiful shimmers, and a really nice combination of warm and cool tone shades all throughout. This is a fall palette through and through, and props to Angelica because she muted these shades. Angelica is extremely colorful, but this palette is definitely for the neutral lovers, maybe the neutral lovers that would like a little bit of adventure within our basicness. I am unfortunately not going to be able to use this palette today to its full extent because I mainly want to use some mattes from it, but I'll show you some shimmers so you can see what the shimmers in this one look like. Stunning. And these shimmers are fantastic because they're very thin. I don't feel like these will have any kind of fallout just by feeling the texture of them, and they're kind of in between an ethereal shade and a metallic shade. Like they have a bit of both, which I honestly think is beautiful and very versatile as well. I want to show you these two as well because they look stunning. Oh my god, that is beautiful. Wow. The first matte I'm going to use is the shade Rattan here because this is a fantastic transition color, and with a thick fluffy brush I'm going to focus it on the crease of my eye. It is blending beautifully. Please disregard those shimmers there. That is because I used the makeup wipe to take off the shimmer on the eye. So here's that color Rattan all throughout the crease of the eye, bringing it down underneath my lower lash line. I want to do the shade called Paisley next, and this one's going to be on the outermost corner of the eye back here, and I'm going to diffuse it into my transition shade and a tiny bit under the outer lash line. I really like the mattes, but I don't like that there's glitter all over them, and I did that to myself because I put the shimmer on first. However, I do feel like these Patrick Ta shadows are kind of like just loose, okay? They don't stick, they don't stay as well as I would want them to. I think I'm going to have to try them with a eyeshadow primer or glitter glue and see if I like it better that way, because I'm feeling like even if I applied them last as a topper, which is the way it should be, they would fly all over. So we'll have to keep trying those Patrick Ta glitters. As far as the Cinch Beauty palette is concerned, I only tried 2 shades, both of which I really like. Actually, I do wanted to do a shimmer as well. This one down here, right between the matte and the Patrick Ta color. And I feel like this will tie things together a little better. Back with mascara on, and I also did green eyeliner in the waterline. If you look at me from far away, you can't tell I have shimmer all over my face, can you? I seriously considered wiping off the eyeshadow and doing it again, but the glittery sparkles flew everywhere when I tried to wipe them off of here. Like they're all over my temples. So I feel like unless I go wash my face and redo my makeup from zero, it'll just make things worse. We are going to just keep it like this. Obviously, the Patrick Ta shadows are a finishing topper. Use it last. I used it first because I wanted to show you eye swatches, and so I'm still happy that I did that. We have one last product to try, and it is also from Cinch Beauty. I chose my 3 favorite Cinch Beauty lip liners from their new lip liner launch. I'm going to show you the shades and swatch them for you. These are pencil sharpenable lip liners, which is my favorite kind, and this right here is the shade Majestic Maple, Optimistic Oak, which is a beautiful cool tone, and Brazen Birch, which is a stunning shade with a little bit hint of rose, and my favorite, so I'm going to put that one on. So here's Brazen Birch, and I am filling it in all the way. I love that color. That looks beautiful. And I'm just going to go with a lip balm over it. I don't want to do anything fancy. Here's my Ule Polypeptide Lip Treatment. And now we have the color of the lip liner and the beautiful shine and hydration of this magnificent product right here. And so here is the finished result. My favorite products I tried today. I loved Laura Mercier Under Eye Powder. Highly recommended if you have dry skin, aging skin, lines or texture underneath the eyes. It is just so seamless and beautiful. You'll love it. This moisturizer from Ravi Beauty is incredible if you have dry or normal skin. Highly recommended. It feels magical when you apply it and it keeps you hydrated all day. Low-key impressed by this brow gel because my eyebrows are looking pretty similar to when I used my Rare Beauty brow gel, which is double the price. So this is nice, and I apologize to it for complaining about the packaging because ultimately it looks good, so who cares? The Rode Beauty blushes, just as good as everyone claims. claims them to be, and very user-friendly, you can build them up if you want to. Like, I'm going to apply some more right now because why not? Now that my makeup is fully finished, I feel like I can do with a little bit more blush. And lastly, also very impressed by the Cinch Beauty formulas. I'm going to give this palette a much better chance in a different video and do a full eyeshadow look just with this one because I love the formulas in here. The shimmers are incredible. They're like ethereal and metallic all at the same time, and they don't look messy at all. They look like they wouldn't even have fallout, which is incredible. And the matte, even when I apply them over shimmer today, performed beautifully. So I can't wait to use this palette again. I think those are, for the most part, the top products I tried today. I think the foundation I have to test further, as well as the lip liner because I love the shade of it, but I thought it was going to be more pigmented right away. My least favorite product I tried today, and keep in mind I pretty much liked everything, was the About Face bronzer. I just don't love that it is as glowy as it is, and I also feel like it blends away a bit too much. I wanted to keep a bit more of the pigment showing. The lip liners I have to test further. I expected them to be a bit more pigmented right away, but this is more like a buildable formula and I'm not super used to that, so I have to keep playing and see. The Wonder Beauty foundation looked really good, but I want to try it without the Rhode Beauty stuff underneath. I want to see how it performs over a regular moisturizer. And lastly, I have very mixed feelings about this Barrier Butter here because it just feels thick when you first apply it, and you guys know I love products that are thin, so I have mixed feelings about that one. Let me know which product I tried today you're most excited about or you're thinking of adding to your collection in the comments section below. And if you're interested in any of these, remember all of the links are in the description box. If you guys liked today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye!